There we go. There we go. How's it going? You look like you're. This thing looks like it's gonna drop. Hang on. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try out kind of a new deal here. Hey, Oomphy, how's it going? I am gonna work on finishing page 5, or sorry, the last page of issue 5. There we go. Of my comic Blood Force, and I'm trying out a new deal here, where I do some more elaborate pencils than usual because I don't generally do very elaborate pencils at all. So I'm gonna basically screw around on a separate 11 by 17 piece of printer paper. Where is? I'm gonna hang on. I need to grab another page here that I've already completed. There we go. So, hey Violet, how's it going? Yeah, generally I don't pencil very much on a page because here I tend to smudge things, and I get impatient. But I want to try this out where I do all the figuring stuff out on a separate piece of paper and then lightbox it onto the actual finished piece of Bristol board. We'll see if that maybe works out a little better for me. I think it might. Hey John, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I don't do digital art. I haven't tried much with it. It's just not my deal. I get, plenty of people do that stuff, and but more power to them by all means. But I'm pure traditional guy. Probably would have been a lot easier if I learned how to do with computer, to be honest, or would have come up with some maybe more interesting results. Hey, Brain, how you doing, bud? We are working on finishing the last page of Blood Force number 5. I'm trying to cobble together this clerkship from the pieces of ships that I've drawn of it up till this point. bit easier. You can do cooler things with it, but traditional is always a lot more impressive because it can be a lot less forgiving. That's true. There is the aspect that, once you have it down on the page, you can't, you're kind of stuck with it, really, unless you really want to go get in there with corrective media. Not a fan of relying on technology for. Yeah, I know. All it takes is anything happening into your device or internet. I mean, that is a thing too. Like, how many people who do digital media, you work your ass off on a page, you slave away at that shit, you come up with something that looks pretty damn good, and then something happens where you forgot to save or you get some kind of blip and you lose all that work. That would suck. At the very least, I don't have to worry about that. I don't quite understand these wings that I set up here. They seem to kind of work from the one perspective, but I feel like this thing needs to be a little bit longer. Pretty rough when it comes to digital. My drawing program luckily backs up everything automatically. So, okay, that would be handy. I'm sure, like, early days at least, there was a few cases of, oh shit, I just lost like 18 hours worth of work or something. Nobody needs that. Wait till we have a power outage and all the servers die after. Hey, is Lee in here too? Hey, Lee, how's it going, buddy? Digital inking, I think I would probably benefit from. Because my stuff gets kind of sloppy. What have I been drawing so far? I haven't drawn the top yet. So we can add extra fins there. I feel like I'm going to be referencing like 6 different previous Blood Force pages to get this one pencil shot right. And this will be interesting because I'm used again. I'm once again used to drawing in a no holding lines style, and we're going with a at least slightly silhouetted shot of the Clerg ship here, but this is not theoretically within the no holding line style. And then we had a transition to the no holding line style. So prepare for me to be confused. With all my old deployments in the Middle East, knowing my luck, the tablet would crap out when I couldn't take care of it. Yeah. That would have happened. Absolutely. So, yeah, for the regulars who missed it, I'm trying something I saw Rob Norton doing, which is doing pencils on a separate piece of 11 by 17 printer paper. And then I'll mess around on this, do all my screwing around and all that. And then I'll light box it onto the Bristol board at the end of this. So this is as I get, really. And you know what? Maybe I should ease off on the fins on this because that's going to make it look like the blood vessel. We do want some kind of differentiation between the two ships, I suppose. It's already kind of similar. Is that what you usually do, Lee? I saw Rob doing it and like specifically working out perspective on there. And I'm like, oh, that seems like a very good idea, actually. Because I tend to smudge everything once I'm laying down pencils because I'm just scribbling all over everything and it turns into a bit of a gray mess a lot of the time. But to actually do all of the working out on a separate page is like, oh, that's a good idea. I mean, I can go in with like a mic or something after this if I want to, just to really emphasize the bits I want to keep. Okay. Hey, Spirit of the Green, how's it going? And caca to you too. Yeah, no, it never occurred to me. I don't think I've probably heard of somebody doing it before this, doing it on printer paper and then light boxing on, but I think it took seeing somebody doing it, and specifically doing the difficult parts that I don't want to do on Bristol. That made it click in my head. As expensive as Bristol is, you're thinking on a different page. Yeah, no, totally, right? So not sure where Rob got it from, but it works for me. Or I think it'll work for me anyway. I think this is similar to what Walt Simonson does too. Because I know, like every once in a while, I go trolling around on Comic Art Tracker or whatever it's called. Was there a question about merch? Thank you, honey. You got to work in non-photo blue line. Yeah, I tried doing that, and then I lose track of lines because it gets too light. Is there any plans for any new merch coming out? Possibly. There is a merch store. In the description, there's the link tree, and in among there is the Blood Force merch. I don't think it's gotten checked too often. It's a spread shop store, so I mean, and I've thrown all sorts of crap on there. I've gotten a hat out of it myself. Oh, I didn't realize it's dropped. Sorry. Let's try that again. There we go. And working on your book, Cormac McCarthy. It's all about how a crusty old dude writes bleak stories about the end of the world and how people just, will eventually be horrible to each other. There's about 4 reams of printer paper that I rescued out of the trash. That's a good one. With throwaway paper didn't all fit in the copier. Yeah. No, man, working in banks or offices is great for finding supplies. No doubt. The non-photo colors myself. Never fully erases. Yeah, once it's all inked, doesn't show up in scans. Yeah, no, for sure. Sorcerer's Care. Okay. I was close, though. You gotta admit I was close. Very close, exactly. End of the world, everyone is up. I mean, you don't exactly have sole rights to that story, Lee, but for sure. I think a couple of people have done something similar. And get that shockwave head on top here. I get the feeling these are not going to be the most elaborate pencils still, but it's nice to be able to just work shit out and not worry about the finished project too much. Yours involves cyborgs and 1980s cyberpunk. That's a more interesting way to go with it, for sure. The road was okay. It was pretty just like, yeah, everybody sucks, and they're eventually going to kill everybody. Yeah, fuck. Where'd the leg go? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm used to the mechanical pencil style lead where you gotta go like click, 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 click to get to the end. Where this is just a catch. So. You hit it once and the whole thing comes out. It's like your Gandalf actually gather the heroes and fight the evil guardian of the realm. Okay. That works. It's all what you can do with it, right? I feel like these need to be a little bit smaller. But we're obscuring this with explodey stuff. And then the actual... Because this is, of course, the big Unicron shot of the Clerg mothership. Well, it's not even a mothership, really. It's just kind of a scout ship, but we don't know that. It seems like it's definitely the biggest ship that we've seen out of them so far, so we assume this is like a mothership. This is the shot of that exploding, though. All in the execution, taking online class right now. All right, good shit. Yeah. I feel like before I got hung up sometimes about trying to come up with a super inventive concept for a book. And it's like, that's certainly not a bad thing if you do that, but it's just as, good an idea to take an idea that's been done before, or, like is reasonably well known, and come up with interesting ways to spin that. That's obviously, that honestly works better sometimes. And I'm not that guy anyway to come up with the super inventive shit. Yep, no, got to throw in some gargoyle vampires in there for sure. Everybody loves gargoyle vampires. People responded to that shit. That touched a nerve. And this isn't quite. There we go. Like if I was smart, that would be my focus for the next little while. Is doing gargoyle vampires. Nobody ever accused me of being smart, though. That's a bit better. It's a bit closer to the mark. Gargoyles was a good show. Was it? Okay. I will take your word for it. I have not rewatched any of it. So. Now this is more like. Straight and then with a little bit of an indent. Used to know the son of one of the writers. Oh, okay, good shit. No, that's true. Nepotism does make it good. If you know one of the guys who was in on it. Okay, so what do we want to do for? I think we could underlight it mostly. Which is pretty similar to what we showed before with this ship anyway. But underlighting works, I mean, with this particular background. Hey, Raven, how's it going, bud? His dad won an award for that show? Okay, good shit. I was listening to the... Makes me think of... I was listening to the Bill and Ted soundtrack earlier. And they pointed out that one of the writers on there is the son of Richard Matheson. It's like, shit. Well, and you're working in movies. Hey, all right, man. That's kind of brave, really. It's like, it's a bit like Stephen King's son going into writing. It's like, all right, you better be damn sure. Because you're gonna get compared, whether you want to or not. Think all of Stephen Cathy's kids went into writing? Is Stephen King, I mean? Is his wife's name Kathy? I mean, his wife's a writer too, so that makes sense. I guess I'm thinking specifically of Joe Hill, right? But good start anyway by going with a name other than King. I know Kathy wrote. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they met in college when they were in, or university or whatever, probably college, when they were both writing students. So that makes sense. We're going to be doing some trees today, probably, because this is still in the woods. So they'll have to get demolished by the explosion that's going on. Those are going to be mostly ad-libbed, I think. Joe didn't want to be Kingston, so he used Hill, which I think is his mom's main name. Yeah. It does look a little Hordak-y, you're right. Yeah, hey, I'll take it. Okay, let's reinforce some of these lines here. Again, because I'm going to be lightboxing this shit. Yeah, I know. You got outed, and yeah. It's going to happen eventually. Stephen King tried doing it for a little while. It just needs to be turned down a little bit. That was part of the deal with Richard Bachman. The Bachman books, all that shit. Where Stephen King wanted to see if he could still write, publish books based on the quality of the book and not based on his name. So the stuff that he wrote, he cherry-picked some stories that he wrote that weren't in his usual style, theoretically. I think there's still a fair bit of that style, but Richard Bachman Turner over, yeah. And they did fairly well. Didn't do gangbusters, which I think is probably about the result he wanted. Really, where they kind of had their own little fan base, and then somebody found out about it because of like back tax information. I think there was like a copyright that could be linked to Stephen King, and he eventually did the math. Running Man was a Bachman book. Yep, Thinner was as well. Yeah, and that one did seem a bit Stephen King-ish. So was The Long Walk, which has now been turned into a okay movie, kind of standard for Stephen King, really. The movie credits Bachman, not King. That's interesting. As is, but so are Rage, as I recall, which is basically a kid taking a bunch of hostages in a class. I don't think they'll be doing that movie anytime soon. And Roadwork, I think, was another one. No, maybe that was a later one. And The Dark Half being a response to being outed. Yeah, I remember that. And there's the bit where he takes the guy who, essentially takes the guy who outed him and like mob execution style kills him. The Night Flyers a lot this weekend. Really knows how to tell a story when he's not busy being long with it. Yeah. Well, we were talking about that before. How the best Stephen King stuff is the short stories. When he has to do a novel, he gets way too involved in meaningless character stuff and description, and because that's what you put in a novel, right? It's like I get it, but you know, The Stand was good for what it was. Like I read The Stand when I was a kid. I read it a couple times, I think. We're getting some like Carrie Nord style explosions in here. I think that's okay. Yeah. I don't have a problem with The Stand. I mean, it did kind of set a template for end of the world kind of epic. I think there's some wrong turns in there, but there's a lot of the stuff you want if you want end of the world stuff in there. You gotta have explosions in the end of the Popo arc, right? Like, geez, can you imagine ending the Popo arc without explosions? Let's do like some big ones going out the front door here. It's gonna be interesting trying to get Popo back to just dude who sits on rooftops after this storyline. After we've had him be, like I did refer to him as a cosmic inevitability. And then we're just gonna ignore that in the next story arc. All right. So still kind of not exactly the most detailed pencils, but I think it's gave me a bit more freedom than usual. Where's my... And, in future, I think we can try this out. We'll refine this. Come on. Okay, this might take a minute. And I get to try and support the light board the entire time because this is on an angle. That's fun. Okay, let's get rid of this. Another one? No. Where is the border? Right around there. Okay. And turn out the light here a second. Tape that shit to the table. This thing's a little bit too heavy to tape to the table, unfortunately. Should. If I can get it brighter, that'll work here. That one doesn't work too bad. Okay. Now I gotta get rid of some of the scribble, I think. It's getting a little confusing. Yeah, but this thing's a few pounds on a very tilted board. So I don't have a rim on it. Or do I? You do it the same way I do the reviews, really. Or just set up a thing at the bottom here. Hang on. There we go. Now I'm gonna have this thing collapse on my nuts. That'll be fun. This, I feel like this part would be easier to do at night. This is maybe worth noting in future. Time to time, I'm thinking of making one with a light on it. Yeah. Well, no, I got this from Amazon. It's like $50, I think, for just a, it's like a panel, but instead of a full-on light table. And you don't get the kind of intensity of the light I think I would like, but it's not bad. And, this is the first time I think trying to do this on a sunny day, so it's like, oh, the problems are becoming a little evident. But I think usually this is a pretty good deal. Where's Monty to call me a tracer? Like, this is the time to do it. Last table on fish tank light. Yeah, that would have worked. That would have been pretty good. Okay, I don't know what exactly I was drawing there, but sure. So that was where I got it from. Was Rob Norton. Hey Robo, how's it going, buddy? He was he was doing something. doing one of his more recent pages, and I saw him working out all of his construction stuff on a separate piece of paper of 11 by 17, and then light boxing it on. It's like, that is smart. I gotta rip that shit off. Oh. I think it's probably a pretty widely used method. I was saying, I think, I don't think I finished that thought. I get the impression that this is kind of what Walt does, Walt Simonson, because, like I said, I sometimes go trawling on Comic Art Tracker, and it's like, are there Walt pages? And it's like, yeah, there's a couple here and there, but what there usually is just a piece of scrap paper with a bunch of roughs on it. You can usually find a bunch of those. And that seems like the kind of thing I could see Walt doing for sure. Just kind of putting down some roughs and then just going in full power and scribbling over everything. What the hell is that? Oh, that's stuff I drew on the back of this page. Right. I knew that. Rib. Oh yeah, Rob Liefeld loves doing this shit too. He's all about adding extra work. I'm like, why is there a dinosaur head right here? It's like, because that's what you drew on the back of the page, dumbass. Is there enough there? Could be. I feel like I could draw around the edges from that. There's a whole bunch of exploding going on, I'll tell you that. Yeah, the digital kids are laughing at the old son. When are they not, you know? Never mind that I like the results with the olds come up with better, but... Okay, don't need you anymore. Oh, shit. Okay. Pardon me. Sal Buscema pencils really shows how back then pencils were very simple. Inkers were meant to do finish. I believe, yeah. I mean, you can see it with Sal too. Like it's mostly like blocky shapes, right? And then, you know, you get Al Milgram in there to go and turn it into something that looks a bit prettier. Yeah, the image guys kind of screwed everything up. Well, you know, we get some of the kids come in here and go, wait a minute, are you using like physical media? That's crazy. Yeah, you get the odd one going like, why the fuck aren't you just using a tablet, bro? But they tend not to stick around too long. The new Star Trek shows us awful youngster watching TNG and the like to see what all the fuss is about. And they yeah, well, yeah. Maybe this was the grand plan all along, right? Get people back into old Trek by making just terrible, terrible Trek over and over again. Gotta love the efforts to, particularly because like they seem to be trying to make it kid friendly, like friendly to kids today, the Twitter kids, where everyone talks like an asshole. They all talk like, kids at the mall. Blue Sky's no betterly. I mean, maybe it is for now. It won't be for long. Anything with social media is going to be a problem. I know, at the mall. Kids don't go to the mall. What mall? Malls are all getting torn down to make way for condos. Is there a place kids hang out these days? Is it just coffee shops? They're now making mall condos. I mean, kind of. The mall I grew up going to was kind of a neighborhood fixture, and they're getting rid of that now to make way for condos. I think they're keeping like the ground floor as like this legacy kind of thing, or part of it. So, there's still mall elements to it. That was the first idea behind the mall. Everybody can get together and do their shopping. It can be communal. Oh, shit. I went too far. I have to wipe that shit out. Alrighty. My point is any social media is going to be a problem. It's eventually going to attract the worst, and they're eventually going to take over. The bots will eventually figure out new ways to monetize and ruin everything. And, oh shit, bumping it with my head again. Yeah, everybody's on the Epstein list, man. Like everybody you grew up watching, pretty much. The world is populated by horrible people. Yeah, no, you just, you take into account when you use any of that stuff that you are basically agreeing to have anything you say scrutinized out of context 15 years in the future. So you want to be opinionated on there, that's fine. Good luck when they decide that, you need to be taken down a peg. I try to keep out of it. I just need it for media purpose, like for marketing purposes. No, but like again, does that shock anybody? You ever order anything off of Amazon? Like, where do you want to draw lines? Do we think Jeff Bezos is a good guy too? So, you can fret that shit. Not a whole lot you can do about it. These will be some interesting pseudo explosions, I feel like. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm kind of making this up on the fly. Just look at all the art and draw. Yeah, exactly. All right, Lee, come on, calm down. Now you're just like willfully demonetizing me. You're interested in seeing what a pseudo explosion. Well, something like if you squint at it right, it's like, yeah, that could be an explosion. Yeah, no, that's, I think, pretty much the way to go. Like, nothing's believable anymore. The government said there's UFOs, and we all went, there are. You know? I'm gonna need a big old Bakum here, I think. Do I put it in now or do I put it in post? I should put it in now. I think. Put a tree in early here to get End Raven to stick around. I will say, yeah, no, lettering is much, much easier on a computer. I can't letter to save my life. Tried to letter the first 2 issues of this comic, and it turned into a fucking mess. That now, you know, me and Lee get to try and clean up. Doing which and thinking I'm crazy. The lettering? Oh, I guess, yeah, you guys were here for issue 2, yeah. Most of the lettering I did in issue 1 was done off stream. Which, I mean, is kind of good and kind of bad, because, like, it would have looked absolutely awful. At the same time, you probably would have warned me before issue 2. You know what, this is a bad idea, and you should try doing computer lettering instead. So it was a valiant effort in issue 2, but ultimately not helpful. Just thinking this might be a little bit easier than I thought to do this panel, because this is going to be largely explosions. Yeah, don't ever do it again. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. Don't worry. We've gotten 3 issues without me, like with me occasionally attempting sound effect letters. Which I'm, you know, a little bit better at. Not great. But it does help to at least vary things up from using the same, like, 5 months over and over again. Every time I try to make a nice signature for mine, I end up feeling like a fraud because I cannot draw letters as well as I draw. Yeah. You know, I spent a long time actually coming up with a decent signature, just in case I ever became an artist. I think it ended up being pretty good. Where's my signature? Here, let's sign the back of this thing. Like, oh. Yeah. Like, it's kind of halfway between comic artist signature and hockey player signature. It'll look good in silver on the cover of Blood Force #1. My phone chat is frozen. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look exclusively at the laptop now. I got my silver markers all ready to go. I've been waiting for this ever since the 1996 convention with Dale Keown. I'll just plug in the cord now. Just save myself some problems later. Yeah, no, now the page is valuable. You're right. The art was like, it was decreasing the value of the artboard until I signed it. You got a copper Sharpie. Nice. Didn't think about copper. Copper would work no well. The ones I've seen are usually silver or gold for the old image guys. So those were my considerations. Like, you know what? I think it's a little bit too up my own ass to get a gold Sharpie. Silver works fine. Silver was good enough for Whilce Portacio and Dale Keown in '96. I can go with silver. Little like fucking bottle nipple on the top of this explosion here. Just kind of trying to avoid that, but oh well. Oh, that's what I should be doing. I should be going with a bit more shadow coming from the middle of these explosions. One good thing about this comic, it's really made me had to level up my explosion game. I feel like this has all been in kind of preparation for the finale of this arc. I do have a 2-page spread explosion in mind. A la, Spawn did it a couple of times. I managed to keep it interesting, so I'm going to have to, I think, reference that a little bit, but all the practice beforehand is not hurting. Like, this is just kind of a tease, I guess. Just like, it's not even a full page explosion. It's just half a page explosion. It's a pretty good one, though, so far. Yeah, no, the final issue, because we have been building up. It's been hard to tell. You know, if you're just checking in every week. But the final issue is going to have to be, it's going to have to wrap up the two main stories, which is Popo versus the Clerg. We're largely wrapping that up here, to be honest. But you know, beginning of the issue, next issue will also help to just kind of put a final thing on it. And then we still have to do Blood Force versus the UN, right? And that's going to be the big bombastic get all your action shots in issue as Blood Force fights the mech there. This is Winger, right? Fuck, all right. Way to go, Winger. Doesn't sound like you. Oh, now we're getting there. But yeah, so that should be fun to draw theoretically. I just have to find a way to block it out. Your book will make a fun Blood Force crossover. I'm down, man. If I don't have to draw anything particularly, you have my full blessing. As it is, it took me like a year to finish this issue. A little more than a year, honestly. So it's like, oh man, if I work on one more thing, I'm gonna catch up to the progress I've made before like issue 6 happens. In terms of like doing the Kickstarters. You forgot how Popo got involved with the Clerg in the first place? Yeah, no, it's tough. If we recall from issue 1, yeah, I'm trying to think when you would even go back and check that. I mean, you can go back and check the page commentaries or the speed arts from the beginning, because that is the end of the first issue, at least the first couple of those. But that was the first encounter with the Clerg, which is really still the last encounter with the Clerg for Blood Force. At the end of that, Popo gets jumped by a bunch of Clerg, and then the Blood Force just kind of wins. And then they fly away, and then you get kind of like a, wait a minute, where's Popo? It's like, he always disappears, it's fine. And then issue 2, he wakes up on board the Clerg ship. Being backing off stream to focus on finishing your story, but crossovers can be fun. Yeah, you do a lot of streaming. If you're working on pages, I tend to find it works out. That tends to be where I do most of my art, is on the stream, if not all of my art, really. I've been thinking I need to back off on reviews, because I'm not doing a whole lot in between reviews and streams. But the thing is that the reviews do fuel the book with the whole, I got to try this aspect, I got to try that thing. You forget what happens from one issue to the next. No, that's true. There we go. Mission accomplished. I mean, this is also a case of like, I think everything will carry over well enough where there's enough memorable moments. This is more of a side effect of I've been drawing the story for 3 years, not 6 months, as you would normally do with the 6-issue stories, right? It's starting to turn into like a Doug Monk explosion, it feels like. Wait, Doug Monk? Monkey, that's it. Maybe even like Richard Corbin with the amount of like stippling going on here. Don't know if that's really what I want to go for, but that seems to be what my hand wants to do today. It's hey, I don't have any complaints so far. There's a whole lot of exploding going on, and so far I don't think too much of it looks problematic. Now I got to be careful to put in exactly explode boom boom. You know what I'm talking about. Glad we're speaking the same language. I gotta be careful about the kind of detail I throw in here now and make it differentiated from the explosion detail enough that basically Lee knows what he's doing. And like it's clear to Lee what's going on with the with and what's not. I think it'll probably be reasonably clear, but I just gotta think about it beforehand. No, definitely not. And like, no, not even penciled explosions, which would also be handy. Theoretically, if you know how to do that. I don't really. Like, what does a Jim Lee explosion look like in pencils? Because it's not anything like this, I'm pretty sure. But the finished effect isn't bad so far. Maybe a little bit of black behind here. Again, trying to differentiate a little bit. Yeah. Oh, Sheldon, I emailed you? Probably forgot. I mean, I know I forget everything as soon as I get off these streams, and Sheldon's on a bunch. So if we see him in here, we'll remind him. You know what? With how much Explodey is going on here, if there's a little bit of bleed over, I don't think it'll matter too much. I mean, if anything, really, if I feel like just about any sound effect is not going to be enough on this. If it would have to be the panel border as sound effect. But we're not doing that, so do a big one here, I suppose. Really, I feel like it should cross over here as well. But then we cut out a whole bunch of explosion here. Hey, Rob, how you doing, buddy? What if I did it down here instead? Does mean I'm cutting out some of this tree, and Raven's not gonna like that. But we could do it down here. Maybe I could have the tree superimposed a little bit. That would work fine. Like it's getting, like, you know, severed. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. I think it's turning out all right. Yeah, we're having fun picking up explodey stuff. I'm trying not to do my usual, like, I got like 3 kinds of lettering I'm confident in doing. We should probably try and expand it a little bit. This explosion is fine because this is from the ship. That's just an ignition thing. Yeah, so I like this better than up here. So I don't want to cut these explosions off. We need all the explodey all the time. It does mean cutting out some explosions here, but I want to go with, okay. We want K's and M sounds. I feel like I've used croom a bit too often. Or bakoom. What was going on in the previous issue? Let me pull that up real quick. There wasn't a ton of lettering. There was a crack, a skicked, that's right. Foom, but that's, yeah, we need more of a k kind of sound. Croom, I did use croom. Bakoom. Yeah, I nailed them. What was the big one with? Oh, that was just a thoom. Okay. And then kick crack. Zrap. Yeah, well, that's not going to be similar. Another crack. And I'm getting boring with these. Explodey boom boom. Yeah, no, that's true. New Liefeld update. On his newest podcast, he claims New Youngblood #1 sold 250K the past year. Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's just making up numbers. How about Kroob? Is that a good explodey sound effect? Kroob. If you put like rumblies around it. Hey Monty, how's it going? You missed the tracing part of the live stream. How dare you? Or maybe Krookaboom. Krookaboom sits in the old plum tree. I feel like you just need K's and O's. Like kook. That would work, right? Well, it's just going to degenerate to Croom. They've gone to Croom. I feel like anything other than an M to end with this gets really silly. I'm actually going to be obscuring most of the lettering, I think, which isn't necessarily the worst idea. Cragadoom. Fuck, that's a good one. I don't have enough room for Cragadoom. Unless I do Kraga over here. Kind of want to do that now. And then just make this a Doom. I like Cragadoom. Okay. So we're getting rid of the K altogether and subbing in a Kraga. Crackadoom. Well, Crackadoom, Fragaboom ain't bad. Shit, that's kind of meta. I think that's a bit too much to have just a Fragga right here. That's like Fragga didn't have anything to do with this. I think Crag is probably good. It's kind of close. Crackadoom. It's Crackadoom referring to something specific. I don't mind in there if we're kind of like a D-rumble, deep rumble. I think we're gonna have to get rid of these explosions, some of these explosions here a little bit. I remember Fragga doing it somewhere. I thought it was funny. Yeah, I mean that works for Fragga for sure. I kind of like it, to be honest, but it is just, it feels like, I don't know if it's a call out exactly, but it feels like I am directly referencing Fragga at that point, which we've kept it pretty jokey. Like, you know, any direct references have been pretty veiled up until now. I don't think I would just want to go Fragga in the middle of it, thinking about it. I like it, but it's a bit much for this book, I think. I feel like the Cragga can be in computer lettering, but no, let's try not to do that. Yabba Dabba Doom, that would have been good too, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna need some whiteout, but that won't be anything new on this page. Yeah, this is where we're gonna need the whiteout. That's okay. Just go over it for now. Again, unless it's just getting hung up in the tree there, which also kind of works. We could just leave that. We'll see how that looks at the end of it. Again, it's not even 100% legible. So I don't know why I was sweating over this as much as I am. This we're gonna have to, yeah, we're gonna have to fix that up a little bit. We do have most of us here, yeah. Doesn't happen too often anymore. Okay, let that set a bit before I get in with the whiteout. All these toenails. I have a couple of them going off too. Not all of them, just a couple. I forget. Let's go in with the whiteout now. That's a terrible idea. Nah, this just obscures it. I'm just thinking, these things kind of look like toenails. These little ports I'm putting on the ends here. Who's our edgy roadie? Okay. Oh, no, I know who you're talking about. Never mind. I think he's moved on to greener pastures. That's okay. Although, I mean, every time we've mentioned him in the past, he has popped in. So maybe we don't want to do that. Just make everything uncomfortable for everybody. I feel like Brain knows. It just Brain doesn't remember everything right away. Kind of like these actually. These little explosions going off. Yeah, I want all of them exploding like that. Yeah, that looks all right. Just. I know. Trust me, if that were a requirement, I would never stop it. Like, if remembering stuff was a requirement of being on this live stream, you'd never see me again. It's never too early for Brain to be out of here. What are you talking about? Brain's come in before and said he was out of here. Did you get the backers a heads up on the situation? I let them know what was going on with the stuff with the my kids, for sure, and I'm getting very close to the point where I can send everything off to the publisher, I think. So once I have something a bit more concrete, I'll let them know that that's where we are. But yeah, I'm trying to remember to keep them in the loop. It is an odd situation, like being like accountable. It's not one I'm entirely used to. At least not when it comes to drawing stuff. It's just kind of like, yeah, what? You don't like it? What? This is what I do. I just make shit up. What? Yeah, I'd rather not turn into one of those guys who just, you know, occasionally checks in and like checks in on the when we're done, and then okay, hey, here's your stuff. I should probably be a bit more active than that. There's a whole bunch of exploding going on here. This is just gonna melt into the rest of the explodey stuff going on, isn't it? I feel like it is. So yeah, okay. Unless it has a different color, maybe that'll help. Don't. Still not thinking in terms of like things have colors. You have to be a I know, right? How many pages of the comic? Lee's colored all the comic. It's all on me now. No, that was one thing that no, Lee finished that shit right away. Oh yeah, no. That was done like before all the business with my kids came down. I was getting to a point where I was close to being able to publish. And then the shit with the kids happened just like completely ground me to a halt. And I'm trying to get back into the groove now. I'm picking up whatever details I've kind of missed on the wayside. Mostly it's just coming down to fixing up lettering at this point. Yeah, no, it didn't take him long at all. Super fast. It looks great. So yeah, the only thing holding it up now is me, which is as it should be. You have to do a bunch of rendering, make up the lack of shading. Yeah, that is one of the benefits to working on this book. You don't have to do most of the work like on a Liefeld book. I know, I'm the worst. I will get you your comments. Do not worry, though. Anyone seen the 2001 flick RoboCop Prime Directives Dark Justice? No, nobody has seen that. I think I can safely say. Anybody who thinks they saw that, no, you're wrong. I'm quite sure, because nobody saw that. There are a bunch of two Prime Directive flicks. Wonder if they're episodes of TV show. They're 135 minutes though. No, haven't heard of that. Now we need, I think, big black areas for the panels on the ship. We don't need a lot of detail in the middle. That's, I think, where that was a bit of a, not quite mistake earlier, but just maybe wrong thinking. Does get a little bit close to no holding lines is the only thing. But I feel like that's okay in this case. They're on Amazon right now, eh? Probably the TV show, I gotta think. Canadian Cyberpunk TV miniseries, released in 2001. Yep, that's it. Giving you Darrow vibes? Thank you. I mean, I don't think I can totally avoid Darrow influence when it comes to explosions. I like what he does. But I want that feeling of like bloom, 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 you know? Apparently there was another show that died 2001, I guess. See, what can we do here to make this a little bit less just shapes? I don't know that really helps that much. You know, maybe a little bit here and there. Yeah, you don't want to put in too much detail at this point because it's just going to get mistaken for explodey stuff. I feel like. Can't figure out if OCD or just awesome. I think it's a combination of both of the two. Really, it's the same thing as Art Adams. I think, where he just loves adding lines so much. Like that's all he wants to do is draw little lines on things. Firelight, shadow, and ship. Yeah, but again, I want a little bit of contrast with what's going on up here with the high contrast, no holding line stuff down here. So it's trying to find a bit of a balance. It's a little bit tough. Anyway, I think I'm going to grab a quick smoke. Oop, shit. Need new tape. Been going for just about 2 hours, so seems like a good spot for a break. Give you time to make your coffee.
I need a minute.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll take a second and draw some more explodey stuff while coffee is being made. I managed not to tear the priceless tracing sheet. Got to make sure you get in on one of these the Kickstarters, Monty, so that I can send you the tracing sheet as part of your order. Did I sign it? Here. There we go. It is now signed. It's like a Da Vinci sketch, exactly. Give it a couple hundred years and a renaissance or two, and this will totally be absolutely priceless. It's on, pseudo vellum as well. It's very appropriate. Just make some little things connecting these a little bit. I don't know if that helps too much. Exactly, we got to plan out the pricelessness of these pieces here. Well, that's a solid investment there, John. You start with 5. $600 years from now, it's worth 30,000 space bucks. These even look like trees? Not really, huh? American, not Canadian. Oh, yeah, American space bucks. Definitely better. Okay, good to go. All right. Okay, getting that smoke. Back in 5 minutes. So says Mitch. Back a minute. Okay. Get the glasses going again. Oop. Calm down. I'm just getting back to the conversation here. Oh, yeah, and Brain was hearing voices. Yes, that's Kitten who used to drop into the live stream. Yeah, no, we're living together now. Which was the plan like a year ago, but try not to smudge too much. Okay. And I think a little bit of extra black underneath here wouldn't be the worst idea. Normally, I don't involve her, on the stream, but every once in a while. I know. Sorry there, John. And hey, CS App, how's it going? Okay, this is. Let's see. Is this like a? I will tell her you said hi. Absolutely. If she's not listening right now, she might know. Let's see. Okay, we don't need this anymore. I can close that. This here. Is that the big kind of plate glass thing? I think it is. If it's not, it doesn't really matter. Might as well get it in there just to like have something geographically to orient you a little bit, because it is just a big massive explodey right now. We were just saying how she doesn't know what to do when I address her, because I've done it once or twice, where I'll just like make an A side. Mostly nobody notices, but I guess this is one of the first really overt kind of like, yeah, there's somebody else here kind of things. A side rather than B side, yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's Explodey. Why am I drawing over Explodey? Don't do that shit. See, I'm losing track of what's Explodey and what's not. That's an amateur move right there. Usually you're using the microwave, yeah, and that's it. It's one of those just little what's the word? Not breadcrumbs, but Easter eggs. There we go. Correct answer is everything exploding. Correct. Hey, Biff, how you doing, buddy? Drawing the big explodey finale to the Popo epic. Digging how it's coming out so far too. That's not an unreasonable excuse. Okay, good. Glad to hear it. The Popo epic, yep. Or the Popoc? Nah, see, it doesn't. Yeah, I'd love to fit those in there, but they just don't work a lot of the time. You will see very awkward, forced Popo puns occasionally, because I do love trying to just fit that in there. So, like for instance, there are issue titles. Issue 2 is titled "Hostile Nippopotiations." So. Force Popo. You gotta bear down on that Popo. Pretty sure I can hear her giggling on the porch too. I don't think that's coming through though. So I think she's still listening. Oh, wait, no, that's the thing. I've got my window open. I think she's working in the backyard. Okay. Sure, she's laughing with us, not at you. Well, there's a fair bit of both going on. It's all right. I'm of the opinion that just laughing on the live stream it's adding to the ambiance. Doesn't necessarily matter the context. You can totally laugh at me if you want. Not that I have to say that. I think that's kind of a given, really. But and I mean, it would happen whether or not I did say that. Or with us at you. Yeah, no, that would work. But we're laughing at him. Uh-huh. Totally acceptable. You got to know your role. Mine is clown. Hey, Jerry, how's it going? What time is it here? Oh, what, post daylight savings? It's 1:18 right now. That is actually a thing worth bringing up. That this will be the last time I have to take part in the daylight savings horse shit. So, in November, when you guys all have to go back to the crap, all of a sudden I will be starting live streams at 10 a.m. and it won't be until again this time next year that it'll get back to the 11 a.m. starts. So I expect to lose a bunch of you at the beginning of that. That's okay. For another 6 months. I know, right? I didn't think it would ever happen. I'm rather pleased about it. God, do I hate daylight savings. To not have to participate anymore is amazing. So the schedule will be out of whack, but not for another 6 months. And it's not my fault. I mean, I could adapt and just switch to like 12 o'clock during this, I guess, theoretically, but like, does mean finishing up at 4 p.m. instead of 3, right? It's like, yeah. No, we'll see. I feel like the guys who get here at the start would be good to start at 10 instead of 11 anyway. BC came through. They did. This is the last year you guys are using it too? That's awesome. Hopefully we're going to start a trend. I mean, we're not going to start it, but we're going to popularize it. BC's not starting shit, but maybe it's a big enough community. Because, I mean, you know, like, even in Canada, we didn't start that. Yukon, I think, started that shit. But, like, you know, who's taking their cues from Yukon? Not too many people, I think. They don't do it in Arizona either. Yeah, no, I've heard that there's a few states that, like, I read into it a little bit, and it's like, man, some states have already been doing this shit, eh? You guys were just waiting for BC to jump in, though. That's the thing. It's like, man, hopefully somebody gets us, joins us on this. The big get would be BC, but, you know, we got to settle for Yukon right now. Arizona hasn't done it for over 40 years. God damn. Okay, be careful with the black spots here that they don't start looking like explodey spots. And Ontario is going to be the last one to jump on board for that. Sorry, Biff. Because they got to go along with whatever New York wants to do. And Quebec. And we all know Quebec, they're going to drag their feet on that shit just to fuck with Ontario. No, I am stoked for, like winter is hard enough to endure sometimes without having to deal with sunset at 3:45. You know? So I'm pleased that we don't have to deal with that anymore, at least. It does mean we don't get that. The only good thing about daylight savings is the spring jump ahead. Like, all of a sudden going, hey, wait a minute, sunset is at like fucking 7 o'clock out of nowhere. That's pretty great. Yeah, and the late sunrise, or the early sunrise, all them shits. It's fucking horrible. Might be catching the beginning of the Wednesday streams again instead of the end. There you go. It took an entire province completely changing how they measure time. But Monty's on board now. DSC only really benefits farmers. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely why it started. And there's some kind of lobby that has been, you know, that definitely has been exercising power to keep shit as it was. It benefited somebody, but, like, definitely not most of the people. Here, let's erase some of this pencil stuff. Where's the... There, that's the one I wanted. Big sad cashing in. Exactly. Sad has always been the worst lobby. Just making everything worse for everybody. Vitamin D cartels. We have to make sunlight more rare. That will drive up the prices. But it's like, what are we saying? Farmers don't know how to get up a little bit earlier or later, you know, based on what crops are. I'm pretty sure farmers can figure that shit out. But it's like when Disney puts movies in the vault to preserve like collectability. That's what, yeah, that's what the vitamin D cartels are doing with sunlight. Okay. Are they still vaulting things? Probably not. I don't think so. I think the vault thing is old news now with streaming. You can't really do that because you're just encouraging pirating at that point. Much easier to just make it easy to access and pay for. And if I could, would I use Captain Canuck? I mean, I wouldn't probably. Because it doesn't really have anything to do with what I'm doing. I haven't even read an issue of Captain Canuck, to be honest, so. I mean, you know, bad Canadian over here, but. With them just ruining so much of their own product, not people aren't buying as much lately. What, the vitamin D merchants? Oh, Disney. I have noticed a downturn in the quality of vitamin D these days. So I don't think I want to do. There was a moment where I considered doing like explosion lettering, but that will just get lost in the explodey. So. Instead, we will do fairly solid, maybe like slightly breaking apart, but I overuse that too. So Maybe not. Hey, Matthew, how's it going? Just kind of craggy, not quite shattering, I think. The vitamin D merchants are ignoring gingers altogether. I'm glad you got out of the hospital. Good to hear that. And uploaded another issue to Global Comics. Good man. I don't know exactly what this texture is that I'm doing. I don't think it's beneficial in any way, really, looking at it, but I've started it, so now we're going to go with it, I guess. I feel like we're getting a little bit lost in the... That is true. Everybody on here should be hitting like. Is anybody hitting like? Oh yeah, it's weird. It showed up on the. I looked on my laptop, and it's like it says no likes. Like wow, nobody. But no, it's just slow on this weird, just YouTube weirdness. And hey, Jaden, how's it going? It's all right here over here. Careful with this so that doesn't look like another letter. There we go. So is this one all by myself or is there an author? This is all by myself. So anything that sucks, that's on me. Anything that's good, that's on me too. There's pluses and minuses. Yeah, this is going to be a big old mash of ink, I think, by the end of this, but... Just hope it looks like something when I'm done. Let's work a little bit on this ship. If most of this gets blacked out, that's fine. Blacken some of the silhouetted shapes here. I guess we could just kind of start with that by just blackening a whole bunch of this thing. Did I actually watch this thing after last time? I think I did. That's crazy. Just looking at my brush here. And that Finn's a little bit off center. I might have to fix that up later. Have I read Superman Earth 1? I don't think I have. Not, I haven't hit a lot of DC stuff over the years. No, I have I have like the Grant Morrison DC stuff, like the Justice League stuff, like Earth 2 and Superman, All Star Superman. That's it. All Star Superman, I should say. DC's attempt to launch an Ultimate Universe. Oh, really? Oh, the. Oh, right. I think I do have some of that, and I've just never read it. I have. I think I have the Batman one too. Let's just do this a little bit more in the middle here and hope that that kind of works out. Again, we'll have to use a little bit of white out there. Yeah, they did Green Lantern and Batman and a few more, but can't remember at the moment. I'm pretty sure there was a Wonder Woman one as well. I forgot about that thing. And you know what? I started thinking about the Absolute stuff because that's kind of what they're doing now, where they're the ones leading the charge on it. Oh, Brightburn? I've heard there's a new Green Lantern thing. I thought it was a movie, but yeah. I don't know if I'll be watching any of that. Good chance I won't, because I don't generally watch too much of the superhero TV show stuff. Daredevil had its moments. That's kind of been about it. Although I liked Loki okay too. Thought that was fine. Yeah, this thing's still splitting when it gets dry. That's okay, I guess. What are you gonna do? From the era where superheroes were considered cool, so they went all urban and put everyone in hoodies and caps. Yeah. Boring. You can do that with like a couple of characters. You do that with everybody, and it just turns into, okay, this isn't superheroes anymore. This isn't what I wanted. The first three to four seasons of the Arrowverse are good. Okay. I think I watched the first little bit of that, and then they started introducing other characters, and it's like, as soon as you do that, I don't know, I lose interest. Because it's like you're trying to incorporate other heroes into this very specific situation that maybe works. And then when you try to incorporate another one, it loses all that credibility, I feel like. Crossover episodes are the best. Rank right up there with RoboCop 2014, don't they? I did like the first season of The Flash, kind of, but it was mostly down to Reverse Flash. You know, the main guy, he's okay. Didn't like his sidekicks. Particularly the dork who feels like he has to name everything after the original DC characters. Oh, they're not that good. Okay, my bad, sir. I didn't mean to like impugn there. Might have been overstepping a little bit. Oh. I appreciate the Canadian. Holy shit! Yeah, that's all inclusive, isn't it? The only problem is I don't know how to burn that onto onto the screen because I'm doing this through YouTube. I don't think I can incorporate elements through YouTube. That's fucking genius, though. I might have to just like see if I might have to buy some ink and print the thing off. I don't know. Or see if any of my old like lying around repurposed ink cartridges work. Probably not anymore, but print one out. Yeah, maybe I have to. Print it out and make it huge. Print out. Hey, I've got all sorts of 11 by 17 printer paper now. That'll work out fine, right? Nah, that's not good. We need to come up with a new one. Oh, the Superman and Lois with the Superman with beard scruff? I didn't watch any of that. I do occasionally get clips of it. Some of them look kind of interesting. How did I do this before? Sure, we'll do it like that. Spin off of the Superman that showed up a few times in the Supergirl show. Okay. I forgot there was a Supergirl show. All right, let's get back on track. There we go. Yeah, I think that was going on around the same time as the Flash show. Again, I wasn't really watching that shit as it was coming out. Come on, figure it out. There we go. I think it's pretty rare to come up with a TV show idea that works week after week. Generally speaking, it's just kind of like, no, they don't really have it. I guess probably The Boys is the one who worked the best at that, eh? Until like the last season or two. Can't wait for the Blood Force live action show. Yep. Hawkstab CG hair and all. Sorry, I say CG computer graphics. I guess that's computer image. Oh, I don't even know what they fucking call it anymore. CGI. There we go. The Boys has a spin-off too. Yeah, I saw that. I couldn't watch too much of The Boys. The comic was fine. I liked it okay. It gets too much sometimes because that's what it's got to do. That's its job. And then watching the show, I don't like it when shows depart too much from the source material and that kind of stuff. Unless they're going to do it in like a really inventive kind of way. And they generally don't do that. And yeah, I was noticing stuff that was like very much against kind of some of the stuff that Garth Ennis would have put in his book. So it's like, nah, that's okay. It's all AI now. Yep. I could have it ready. You're right. It's just the prompt would take forever to write. I don't have time for that shit. Oh. Nib on this is starting to get all floppy. Doesn't take long with the O1s. Where's the wing here? There was a wing here before. Oh, don't say that, right? You're gonna get them the end of the world bots to target me first. I've been very polite to them up until now. What did I think of Invincible? I thought it was pretty good. The first season. I didn't have a problem with that. We're talking about I assume we're talking about the cartoon, not the comic. Although I think they're fairly similar. Didn't read too much of the comic. Yeah, didn't mind where it was going. I haven't watched all of season 2 yet. Because the first one I watched largely with my son. And then we were waiting for season 2 to come out. Now it's out, and it's like every time he comes over, it's like, maybe we can watch that, or we can just watch something else. The waiting for the next season is a killer for me. There's a good chance that just completely kills any interest I have in the thing. Thought it was pretty good though. Definitely had a strong start. That is a show. Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, but what are you gonna do, right? Everyone expects you to put out a show like weekly at best, at latest. And they pump so much money into these fucking things. It's not the way they used to do it, where, you know, it was all on a budget and you made 26 episodes. And it was a big deal for a new season to start up. Because, you know, summer was all about reruns. Now it's just, you know, okay, this show's over. What's the new thing I should get into? And it's like, okay, am I into this more than I was the last thing? Sometimes it's yes. Not a Homelander fan. I'm sick of the system around superhumans. Yeah. I mean, it was a little bit less of a thing in the comic just because, like, that wasn't as prevalent at the time. Now it's with how big the Boys has gotten, that's kind of helped to make it a lot more ubiquitous. See, the first artist working on the comic at a Comic Con on Wild Bill, and surprised to see him drawing it on 8.5 by 14. Really? That seems very skinny. No, wait. Yeah. Well, I guess it's just the same dimensions, only shrunk down even further, right? 8.5 by 11 is the usual. Yeah, so that'd be just like full scap. That is a little bit small. Depends on what kind of thing you're drawing, though. If you're drawing a more cartoony thing, that would be totally fine, where you're not worrying too much about detail. Legal size. Yeah. I've been teaching something new with Firefly. Okay. Still haven't watched Firefly and still going like, why not? I keep looking around for something to watch and Firefly never occurs to me. Oh yeah. Adam Baldwin on Firefly? Which one's Adam? Is he the blonde one? That's Steven, isn't it? I don't think Stephen Baldwin has ever nailed anything in terms of acting. Is Adam the one in Dracula 2000? Adam wasn't Chuck. Not sure about. Okay, I don't know if I know Chuck. I wonder what they're doing these days. Beau Bridges. The other Bridges. Just thinking about, acting families now. You're thinking of Robert Baldwin. Perhaps? Adam Baldwin was Animal Mother. Okay. That I've got in my head. Thank you. Appreciate it. And hey, Big Lord, how's it going? Animal Mother was pretty great. That was nice and memorable. And he was in Independence Day. The first one? What was he doing in Independence Day? Trying to think of what Adam Baldwin could possibly have been doing in that movie. Was he an alien? Did he play the dog? As the head of security at Area 51. Oh, okay. Don't remember that much at all. I remember Brent Spiner doing his best hammy thing, because that's what Brent Spiner do. He needs to be doing the thing now where he's doing a podcast with LeVar Burton, I think. Which feels like that's the first time Star Trek people have cashed in on that shit. Or maybe it was Frakes. I think Frakes might have been there. I don't remember. Old Mordecai Baldwin. Don't know if I know that one. Yeah, no, you got to go full crazy after years of playing dead. Yeah. I refuse to be typecast. And everyone's like, you know what? We don't like you in anything else. Like, fine, I will be typecast then. It's with Frakes. Okay. Fillion and Tudyk have one. Really? I think I saw them on. Okay, maybe it was I got the impression it was Fillion and Tudyk on the Spiner and Frakes show. I mean, any one of those names you could interchange, and these guys guessed it on this show, so that would be fine. I feel like Fillion would be a good one for a podcast. Whenever he's not in a James Gunn movie. Once We're Spacemen, is that what it's called? Okay. That's okay. I guess you can't directly reference Trek, right? Was Tudyk on Firefly with Fillion? Like, is that kind of where he got his start? Because I know he's he was the pilot. Oh, okay. Did I miss Firefly reboot possibilities? Yeah, I think you're just getting it on time for that. I was saying, I don't know anything about Firefly personally, and still haven't watched it, but maybe if we keep bringing it up in conversation I'll remember one day. And welcome back, Rob. This is not quite right. A little bit better, maybe. Oh, here. There. I don't know that that will be very effective, but it's better than not writing it on the tape, I suppose, right? We need another Fast and Furious. Running on fumes. Because, yeah, as soon as you say we need another Fast and Furious, it's like, no, we don't. But if it's running on fumes, okay, maybe. If it's like an all-out, this is the last one because we can't, like, movies don't make money anymore. Maybe that would be interesting. I still haven't watched a Fast and Furious movie. Just to fill space. Yeah. They do need to finish the story from the last flick. Oh, really? They need to, do they? I think it needs a strong word there, Monty. That could be the title as well, because they do go into space sometimes, right? Just Fast and Furious, filling space. A RoboCop 2 remake done in the style of RoboCop 2014. Yeah. It is what people are clamoring for. See, they released the unfinished $1 billion Mermaid Fish People movie and... Okay. I don't think I've heard of that one. Probably because it got unreleased. Is that what the new Avatar is? Fire and Fish, whatever it was called? Fast and Furious, yes, people will still pay money to watch this. Yes, indeed. Can't stop people from paying money for this. It was their answer to Aquaman. Yep, absolutely. Okay, whatever. You'll figure that one out. Let's do more of this Doom. That's what I really want. We all want more Doom. Not the movie. We don't need more any more movie adaptations of Doom. Fans are family. Yeah, and they include so many big actors in those now. Now you're talking about the families of like small cities showing up to every movie. There is another Dune. Okay. Is there a Dune show? I wasn't aware of that. Swear, don't keep track of this at all. Still haven't seen the Dune movie, although I'm starting to think maybe I should. Never read the books. Don't give a shit, but you know, if it's good, and it sounds like it maybe is. HBO Max. Okay. I've minimized my subscriptions for the moment, so I might not be able to access it. I don't think I'm gonna pirate TV shows. That doesn't seem like a thing that's worth doing. Unless it's Ash vs. Evil Dead. I don't think you can get that most places anymore. Doom movie is real good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I've been kind of hearing that it's not just you know, this is a faithful retelling and this is a big blockbuster. It's like, no, it's actually a good movie too. It's like, okay. Well, that is the other thing, right? Is that the 80s movie doesn't exactly have the best reputation. I'm sure it's interesting, particularly to David Lynch fans, but you know, for me, nah, not so much, maybe. But if this is just like good movie, then yes. Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously there's not going to be any kind of connection, but it has that taint, you know. The Lynch movie was limited by screen time, and it was like a mess, was it not? I'm sure it's interesting, but like, again, not a David Lynch fan at all. So, sorry, Ed Raven. I know Raven's here. The extended version of the '80s film. Yeah, I don't think I need to watch that. You're afraid of things looking too sci-fi, so you don't get really weird shit that makes Dune stand out, like the Navigators. Okay. Oh, the Denis Villeneuve, is that the guy who's doing that one? I've read the Dune books, had one, but never got to it, and was a '70s paperback. Fair enough. I mean, you know, I never read it either. I generally most of those old sci-fi stories didn't get to them. My library didn't have them when I was growing up, so would have liked to have read a bunch of them, but you know, I don't think I knew who Philip K. Dick was. I would have liked to have checked out some of that stuff, I think. Kind of occurring to me, I do have access to a library these days. Could always try that shit out. And navigators are people who took too much spice. So the oregano people. All right, gotcha. Yeah, this. I just like this sound effect is not going to be particularly visible because it's mostly under everything that's happening, but maybe that's okay. That's just one of the it's one of the like, cute little features on Blood Force. When I do sound effects, it's mostly obscured. I do, yes. And Popo, etc. Yes. If Monty doesn't like them, they must be good. There's a possibility. It certainly doesn't say, you know, well, then we should never watch this if Monty doesn't like them. I mean, there's always that element where you just got to kind of make concessions. You know, that's kind of part of the deal too. Is that as a writer, you can make it whatever you want. You don't have a budget. You don't even have to worry about what market necessarily will dig it. And the bits that don't make sense, people take that in stride. You can't, when you're making a however many $100 million show, you have to take that kind of shit into account, right? I feel like there's some Frank Miller Ronin tech going on here where it's just kind of scribbly nonsense. Like some of it, definitely. Oh, sure. I mean, Blood Force will be public domain one day. Then you guys can do your own Blood Force without having to worry about me suing you, as I would these days. That's one of the new things I think we need to start up is the rumor that Mitch is extremely litigious. Monty doesn't like something? No, Monty likes everything. What are you talking about, man? It's just varying degrees of RoboCop 2014, right? Everything's measured on the RoboCop 2014 scale. Like if you're lucky, you get like a 0.6 RoboCop 2014 out of 1. The Dune sequels do get really weird. Yeah, I know, I buy that. And again, that's gonna be a feature of novels. Is just we can come up with whatever the fuck we want, and if it doesn't work, shit, you come up with something to explain it away or whatever. If it's not, there's no such thing as not in the budget. There's no such thing as focus group. Kind of, there's editors, but. Book 1, his son turns into an immortal sandworm man. Okay. Well, that's fairly common. The immortal part is weird. Sandworm man, though, I've seen that before. I feel like we need to end this with more explosions. This really is a mess of just like all sorts of weird shapes. I feel like the hatching is helping to separate it a little bit. Leave it for the colors. Absolutely. I do intend to do that to a degree. The difficulty, of course, is that I also want this to be something somebody wants to buy in a future campaign, right? If it's a mess, will that reduce the value a little? Can't have that. The sandworm comes open and the mouth is wearing a man puppet on the tongue. Really? Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not, man? What's the weirdest thing I can put that or think of? I'm going to put that in my book. You can totally do that. Over the trees that got burned up. Yeah, essentially, they're just getting like all knocked around. There are some trees in here. Kind of. I am obscuring them a little bit, but that is my right as overly litigious creator. And if you with that right, then I'll see you in court. There, more trees. I don't want to let End Raven down here, you know. Deforestation, defenestration. We're about both of those things on Blood Force. I assume End Raven's okay with deforestation because it means I have to draw the fucked up trees. Hey Goku, how's it going? This all makes perfect sense to me. Yes, absolutely. Lee can color anything Lee wants to color. If Lee wants to leave something blank, that's up to them. I think it's beautiful as an effed up tree, yes. That Kraga is very... Oh, that is very sloppy looking. So naturally, we should throw in more white out because that will make it clearer. And not just sloppier. Draw destroyed forest. Don't forget the ubiquitous scary skull somewhere on the page or pages. Be hard to fit in here specifically, I think. That works. Oh man, my finger's getting all bent out of shape. It's totally getting like molded to one side. Yeah, just about time to wrap it up, I think. All right. Ugh. Hey, you know, I got a fair bit more of that drawn than I thought we would, really. Who'd have thought explosions are fairly quick to get down on the page? I should just do more explosions in this book. Like, I knew I should get more explosions in this book, but now it's like there's a reason beyond just, you know, it's an explodey book. It's like it also speed up production. It's like, fuck, all right, that convinced me. All right. So that's where we're at on page 22 of issue 5. I have no idea what page this is. Maybe we'll finish this up on Wednesday. It's possible, considering how fast we were able to cover up some ground on this. That'd be nice. Do you have any opinion on the creator of Prim of Malibu Comics? I know it's been a few years, but I just thought I would ask. Prime? I assume we're talking about the writer, in which case, no, we're not going there. If we're talking about Norm Breyfogle, yeah, it was Breyfogle drew that, right? Shit, who drew Prime? Yeah, I think that was Breyfogle. Yeah, Breyfogle. He did a hell of a job. Yeah. Breyfogle did awesome on Prime. That's about all I have to say about Prime right now. I will very likely not be reading any more of Prime. Or no, that's fine. Or a lot of Ultraverse books because of that. Yeah. Anyway, you can stop. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Very much appreciate it. Been a fun stream. I will see you on Wednesday and in the videos in the meantime and all them shits, or in the Discord, baby. All right. Peace out. Have a good one. There we go. Later.